Wow, what a day to be alive. Okay, so I've got expensive taste on a lemonade budget. I am not afraid to say that. But I desperately need some new fall looks for my home, and some of the things that I'm really liking this season, they're not in my budget. I cannot afford them. So my challenge is to hit up one thrift store and hunt down some incredible things that I can turn into the dupes of the things that I really like. And you're coming along with me. Let's see what I can find for a fraction of the price.
That's right, we're doing bougie on a budget today, and my local thrift store never disappoints. It took me just one stop to find all these treasures. You won't believe what I was able to turn this all into, so you gotta stay tuned. I came home with these 6 items and I paid a total of $88 for all of them. They look a little dated, I know, but let me show you what you can do with these things. Let's head in, see if I can get my supplies for the day. This is what I'm after. Get this medium-sized one, should be fine. Which one of these should we flip first? I think I'm actually going to go with the jewelry box. Let's start there. I love the look of this tall jewelry box and all of its curves and details. This will be the perfect little piece to put in my office, or if my daughter wants this for her room. I knew I could do something fun with it and a little out of the ordinary, so this is going to be such a fun flip. This most definitely is not made out of solid wood, so I don't feel bad at all about the direction that this one is about to take. This jewelry box has lots and lots and lots of hardware on it, and right now I plan on reusing it. I mean, it suits the time period. They're really pretty. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't know, and this is a lot of drawers to use new hardware on. So, but everything has these little tiny nails as a way to keep it in place. These are not screwed into the drawers at all. So I'm using my upholstery tool to loosen these up. I'm going to keep them all together as I go and get all these handles off of here. I know y'all, I'm breaking somebody's heart by taking off all these finishing details, but this is overkill for me. And the idea that I have, this isn't going to work. So everything's on here with finishing nails, so I'm just going to gently pry these off so I don't have any marks to fix. At least that's the hope on the piece of furniture. And I can see where the nails are, so I can just sort of pry back in there and gently lift them off. And this should come off in no time. So I'll remove both of these on either side. Woo! I'm going to use my Surf Prep sander to go all over the curved details and then to smooth down some of the little fixes that I had to do. So on my Surf Prep, I've got this squishy foam abrasive and I've got a 120 grit sanding pad on the front of this. So So I'll just attach this on here and we'll go over this real quick. This is Country Chic's bonding primer. This is a really slick surface, whatever kind of laminate is on the top of this, it's slick. And even though I've used my sander, I'm still a little worried about how well my paint is going to adhere to the top of this. So I'm gonna put a good coat of this Country Chic bonding primer on here, and after that we should be good to go. So while I am waiting for this next step to dry, let me share something personal that's made a real difference in my life lately, especially now that I've turned the big 4-0. We all know how important it is to stay active, but sometimes finding that motivation can be really tough. That's where Trainwell has been a game changer for me, and they just happen to be the sponsor of today's video. I've tried so many fitness apps, you guys, but Trainwell is really different because it combines the personalization of having a real trainer with the flexibility of working out whenever and wherever I actually get the chance to. My virtual coach knows how to tailor make my plan to fit my busy lifestyle and my schedule. No more excuses. And let me tell you, lifting weights has never been more important. And as we age, especially after 40, keeping our muscles strong is key to staying healthy and feeling really good. My Trainwell coach makes sure that I'm hitting all of the right exercises that are tailored just for me. It's like having a personal trainer in my pocket and pushing me to be my very best. Trainwell customizes workouts based on the equipment that I already have, so there's no need for me to invest in expensive gear if I didn't already have it. So if you are ready to take control of your fitness journey, especially if you are needing that extra push to stay consistent, that's me. Trainwell is where it's at. You can get a free 14-day trial with a personal trainer using my link below. Trust me, you guys, you want to jump on this one, you won't regret it. I'm getting my Wagner spray tint in place before I start painting all of these smalls. And for my jewelry box flip, I've chosen the color Secret Garden by Country Chic Paint. I'll get that loaded up into my Wagner sprayer and off we go. It took 2 coats of this for full coverage. I just love how this Country Chic paint sprays out of the Wagner sprayer. It is so nice. Usually all it takes is 2 coats of this to get full coverage that I need, and it dries really quickly, which is great. I finished this one off with the satin top coat from Country Chic Paint, and it'll be ready in about 2 hours before I can move on to the next step. While my top coat is drying, let's revisit all of those handles. I've got them cleaned up a little bit, but now they just look a little dull. I'm using a chip brush and some metallic gold paint to barely stipple on a light gold effect. I want these not to look like they've been spray painted, sort of a little more like shabby chic, and I'll link everything that I'm using in the description box below.
So I got this transfer off of Amazon. It really goes well with this bright green that I have. I'm going to put this on here, but moment of truth, I've never done a transfer before. So you and I are going to try this together for the first time. I think I'm going to center this up at the edge of this drawer here and then work my way down. I know I've got to touch these up, the in-betweens from the drawers, but I am going to put the transfer on first and then cut that down to size, and then I'll clean up the little bits on the drawers that I need to. So let's get this on. This is super fun.
Transfer is on, the handles are dry, and now I can start putting this all back together. Be sure to stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to be doing a full final reveal on all of these pieces together.
This next one is going to be a little crazy, and yet I bet it's going to be super cool when I'm done with it. Yet another pottery inspired dupe. I love the vases that they're coming out with this year, and there's some on there that I am particularly drawn to. And I thought, why not just redesign one of those on a really cool lamp? But this lamp, it's stuck in the 90s, and we need to get it out of there. So there's some things I need to do to this first. I'm not just going to put some paint on this. We are actually going to get rid of all these details. You'll have to stick around to see how I do it. Possibly change out this shade if I can find another one that I like. But let's get this lamp taken all apart and let's see what I can turn this into. This project might be a little messy.
This lamp was $25 with another 40% off at the thrift store, and I'm going to try my best to make it look like one of those $300 lamps from Pottery Barn.
Here's where the mess comes in. I'm going to use some dry deck spackling and cover pretty much all of the detailed work on this until I have something that's more in the shape of a vase without all the florally scrolls and things like that. We don't want those. Those are not in style now, but I think I can definitely do something with the shape of this. I just got to cover up the parts I don't want.
I'm using a thick layer of dry decks all over this lamp to give it more of that pottery terracotta look that I'm going for. Once I had the entire lamp covered, it took about 2 hours to dry completely, and you can see when it is dry because it turns white instead of pink. Once the lamp was dry, I used the color Licorice by Country Chic Paint. I put it into my Wagner sprayer again, and I'm going to do a first coat on this lamp with this black color. I covered up all the working parts on the lamp and then gave everything one good coat of this black paint. I let this dry for a few hours before I moved on to the next step. I'm taking my Country Chic paint in the color Pebble, which is like a tan brown, and just stippling some of it all over this lamp. I'm using a dry brushing technique, so I'll pat off most of the paint on the bag before I apply it to the lamp, and just slowly work my way up, just sort of adding layers of texture as I go. I liked the way this looked when it was dry, but if you wanted more depth, you could go in with another color and do the exact same effect. That first coat of spackle really helped this lamp look like it had that pottery look when it was dry. Lots of texture. It's just perfect. I can't wait to show you guys at the end. I picked up this large wicker basket at the thrift store. The size of this is really great. And it was marked for $25, but I think it was 40% off if I remember correctly. Some of it is a little chipped off on the sides. So I got a can of brown textured spray paint, and it's more like a taupe color than brown. So I am going to go around and spray this whole thing, so now that all of the colors are the same, this is going to make a great staging basket around the house and to stage my furniture with. And I can also sell this because wicker is really in style right now. So let's transform this guy. This next transformation is a picture that I saw on Pottery Barn that I really wanted for my house. But last time I checked, it was around $250, and I am not going to spend that much. So I went and found one at the thrift store. I'm going to try to make this a duplicate, but it's an even bigger size of the one that is on the Pottery Barn website because I really want to use this to stage my furniture with. This flip is going to be super simple. I'm just loading up my Wagner sprayer with a white from Country Chic paint. Everything I'm using on this flip is going to be linked below, as well as all the other ones. As soon as I've got my Wagner sprayer full of paint, I'm going to start putting one good solid coat of white paint on this before the next step. I found some dried flowers and stems on Amazon, so I'm just going to arrange these on the white canvas and then glue them down with a hot glue gun. The hardest part of this was just finding the pieces that laid flat and didn't try to come up off of the canvas, but once I figured that out, we were good to go. I just used a little bit of hot glue and held it in place until it was dry. Now that all the flowers are on, I'm taking the same white paint that was already in my Wagner sprayer and applying 2 good coats to the top of these flowers. Once the paint dried, we built a frame around it using some leftover trim pieces just to make the piece look a little more finished. It is so hard for me to pick a favorite out of these 5 flips, but this one is definitely in the running. Now, everybody either owns one of these vases or has seen one at a thrift store, and I'm telling you, you need to snatch them up because they turn into the coolest things. This was 40% off again, and I found my inspiration for this one on Pottery Barn. So I picked up my spackle and went to work. This one is super fun and easy. You just make sure that you make the design in the spackle as you go, and then that way as it dries, your design will set. I'm just making vertical lines down the vase, and when it dries, it'll look like it has details and crevices in it. But you could also take a spoon or a pottery type tool and make a design also. For the vase, I wanted to use a color that I hadn't used on the other thrift store flips, something a little more bold for fall. So I went through my paint stash and I found the color Ocean Shore by Lily Moon Paint. This is a dark blue gray color, and I loaded it into my Wagner sprayer and applied 2 good coats. And again, when that Drydex dries, it turns white instead of pink so that you know it's ready for the next step. And you can see all this textury goodness as I turn this vase around and start putting this blue color on there. It's just fabulous. And this is so simple to do. I think this entire flip cost me around $10. Here's a quick peek at where we started with all 5 thrifted flips for under $100. I just love how each of these turned out, and you will most definitely see them turn up on future flips to help me stage my furniture projects. My favorites are easily the vase and the artwork. I think these two are so similar to the things that I wanted to buy on Pottery Barn. I'd love to hear from you guys. What was your favorite piece from today's haul? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up while you're there. I would really appreciate it. A big thanks to Trainwell for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click the link below to receive 14 days free with your very own personal trainer. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a flip, and I'll see you next time on Lemons to Lemonade Furniture. Thanks for watching.